let's talk about David De Gea. I just checked my social feed, and he is trending #1 on Twitter with over 100,000 tweets. Wow. I'm not sure how this happened, but it looks like every now and then, what you expect to be smaller errors gets magnified. Is that what we are seeing with De Gea? Does he have a legitimate case, or is there a legitimate case for fans and like even United technically to take a second look at him?
I've felt they should move on from him. And my point is that I think as a ball-playing goalkeeper, I think where we are going in the modern game, if you're a top team, you need a ball-playing goalkeeper. And I don't think he fits that bill.
You think every top team needs to play from the back?
I think every top team does. I don't see any. There's very few top coaches who don't do it. It's maybe in certain games they might decide to go long, but more often than not, teams want to build from the back. And I think based on that, and that's what Ten Hag seems to want to do, because you have a coach, that's what he wants to do. And I think because of that, they should probably move on from him. And I think coach raised a point whilst we're not on air, but that the cost of a keeper maybe is a bit prohibitive right now. That if you want a keeper,
does a ball-playing goalkeeper need to be expensive?
Well, if you want one who's also going to be a great shot stopper, you want, because if you are Manchester United, you want to challenge for the Premier League, you want to challenge for the Champions League, etc. You need to buy a top keeper. And if you look at other positions in their squad, I think they can get by with De Gea for maybe next season, maybe 2 seasons. But I think it should end after that. I think after a while, you have to move on. I think he's a great shot stopper. I'll give him that. But I think because of his kind of ball playing and stuff, he makes more errors than he should. He's leading the league in errors leading to goals this season with 4. So the stats say he's cost them more than any player. He's cost the team more than any other player. But I wouldn't even count today. Every keeper has mistakes when stopping shots. I wouldn't even say today is part of the bigger issue. I wouldn't count today's mistake as part of my issues with him. I think the ball playing. And there were moments where he kind of mispassed and that kind of stuff. It happens. But I think if you are going to play out from the back, it's difficult to have David De Gea as your keeper. So if that's the direction Ten Hag wants to go, he has to go. And that's what it is. If you're okay with his ball playing as it is, and you are judging him on his ability to stop shots, claim crosses and that kind of stuff, I think he does those things well enough. I think, and the shot stopping is elite. It's some of the best in the world. His crossing and his sweeper actions, they are okay. They are acceptable. I think that's fine. But the one weakness he has for me is playing out from the back.
Let me just stay with you before I go to coach. If United are to get a ball-playing goalkeeper that fits their stature as a club, what are their options?
Well, you would have to look. Let me think about it. Because that's the thing. You have to also look at someone. You also have to look at their age. You don't want to buy someone too old because it becomes a short-term solution. So you have to look at Diego Costa, Mike Maignan, keepers in that category.
Those are expensive goalkeepers.
Exactly. They are going to be expensive options. So if you are looking at a team and you are thinking to yourself that, okay, we need a striker, because they do need a striker. Let's say you have 150 million. That striker is going to cost you like 80. That's already half your budget gone. And before you're going to have to reinforce other positions, will you have enough to buy a top quality keeper? Because for me, if you're buying a keeper, you might as well buy one of the best, which is what Liverpool did with Alisson. They spent 80 million on one of the better keepers in the world, and it's paid off for them. So I think that's another thing. If you are going to make the signing, it has to be a signing that's right, a signing that will last you 7-10 years. So those are the considerations. So for me, I think David De Gea needs to be upgraded, but I can also understand why that might not be the right decision at this time. But I think overall, if you want to play from the back, he's not the keeper for you.
Coach, clearly you cannot ignore 4 errors leading to goals as a goalkeeper. You are leading the league. You are leading your team. You can't sweep it under the carpet.
You also cannot underlook the fact that he has the most clean sheet in the league. Right now, if the league were to end, he takes home the Golden Gloves. That speaks volumes of the goalkeeper we are talking about. You see, you talk about he trending on social media as #1. It's simply because he's not British. That is why he's trending as #1.
You think there's a deliberate agenda against him?
There has been a deliberate... Look, have they ever magnified the error of Maguire before? Just on Thursday, Luke Shaw was making something that...
Volleyball.
Look, any player in his right frame of mind at that moment would never think about doing. How many times did you get them talk about it? Oh, he played well. He was very good. He was very good. Then they just sweep under the carpet. Look, I will not sit here and say David De Gea has not cost United. But I also look at the goalkeeper. You see, he's a legend of the club. Is he performing as a goalkeeper? Yes, he is performing as a goalkeeper. There will come a time he will make mistakes. And like Ten Hag said, individual mistakes are not things that you can dwell upon so much as a coach. Because you clearly know that that player who makes that individual error will be craving the next opportunity to do what? To fix it. Would he be in goal against Wolverhampton? Yes. Will he be in goal in the FA Cup final against Man City? Yes. And these are look, for example, in the FA Cup final, if United were to stand any chance of winning that game, we need David De Gea to have one of his real, true color days. Please don't blow this thing out of position. Now, let's look at what United need as we speak. That position is not so delicate a position to be solved now. If you look at what this team needs, this team needs proper depth. Proper depth include the goalkeeping position. A goalkeeper that will come and challenge. If United have got the money, I will agree with Susu that if the budget is about 500 million pounds, I'll be the first person to say, look, you've been a legend. You've been here for more than 10, 12 years.
Let's get a more
keeper
who fits the style.
And my first choice is the Porto goalkeeper.
He's 22 years, I think.
23
Diego Costa,
years.
22.
And that's the same thing they did when they bought De Gea.
That's it.
He was
Actually,
there's actually a goalkeeper at Valencia I think United might like. He's Georgian Mamadashvili.
Yeah, he's about 24 years.
No, he's even younger. He's 19 years.
Yes.
Valencia's goalkeeper.
I hear they've spoken about they've spoken about him too. But it has to do with the budget. Now, United has the least goal conversion rate. They are 16th when it comes to converting chances. That tells you you need to spend big
on a striker.
United, after the injuries to Varane and Martinez, are more or less playing somebody who should be dominating at left back.
At centre back.
With a 80 million centre back sitting on a bench, not even being given a look, deservedly so. Then when you move into midfield, when you take off Carlos Casemiro,
he doesn't have a backup.
So the goalkeeping thing is not an urgent problem that needs fixing urgently. It's not. So don't blow it out of proportion. Look, I have seen David De Gea made saves that took my breath away. Can you count the number of times he's done that? You've lost count over the past 12 years. You've lost count of it. I'm not going to sit here to back him or to support him or to applaud him for the error today. I'm not going to sit here and do that. By his very high standard, he should be saving that with cheeky ease. With cheeky ease. And you could see his reaction. He knew he was at fault. So quickly, let's sweep it under the carpet.
Move on from it.
United is not winning. They stand no chance of winning the league. Sweep it. Don't dwell so much about that. Look at the bigger picture. There are 4 more games to be played. Do you need David De Gea in those 4 more games?
You do.
Yes, you do. Sweep it and move on.
Let's see how that plays out.
And stop that non-British Maguire and Co. and Luke Shaw and Co. Look at my own Jadon Sancho, Rashford and Co. When they don't perform, do they trend as number 1? They don't. Stop that.
Interesting things going on with Manchester United. Let's get on to some other highlights. Like